All right, we're here with Eliot Marshal. Eliot, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. So you're fighting this Saturday, UFC 137.
Yes.
Brandon Vera, how you feeling?
I feel great. You know, it's the best camp I've ever had. I know everyone says that, but really is. I've had a great camp.
Yeah, I've heard from quite a few of your coaches, Amal Easton, some of your training partners. You've been kind of on another level this training camp. Have you made any changes or mental? What exactly do you think has led to this being the best camp?
You know, a lot of things have led to it. You know, I'm not quite sure what's led to it on my end, but I know all my coaches believing in me has really helped. And just as far as my training partners, like, man, I've been going to Albuquerque. I've been sparring with James McSweeney, also here in Denver. Like, I haven't sparred with the same person. I think Saturday was the first time that I sparred with the same two people, 2 sparring sessions in a row.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I've had to adapt every sparring session. You know, that sometimes that gives you a problem. When you go in there, you're used to the guys that you train with.
Right.
You know, and then you go with that guy and it's not the same. Well, I haven't been used to anybody.
Right.
So
let's talk about the actual matchup of Brandon. How you think it plays out stylistically. What your strengths are, and what you think might be his strengths in this fight.
His strengths are he's very technical.
Right.
You know? He's very technical. He's very tough as well. He doesn't quit. But my strength, is I just gotta mix it up. I can't just be fighting in one dimension. Like striking and then try to take down. I have to mix it up well, and that's what the best guys do best. It's like they're not the best strikers, they're not the best wrestlers or jiu-jitsu guys, but they put it together well, and that's what I've really been working on.
Are you the type of guy you set a specific game plan going into a fight, or do you think that anything happens once so you don't try to stick to one specific?
The times that I've set one specific game plan, I haven't fought my best. Like I can stick to the game plan very well, but it kind of makes for okay, just stick to the game plan type fight.
Right.
So my game plan is just to not have a game plan.
Right. So now it seems like this fight, you guys are both need to win pretty badly. Do you feel any extra pressure or any motivation, needing that victory?
I've said this a couple times. Pressure's all in your mind. Pressure's only what you do. And fighting isn't who I am. It's just what I do.
Right.
So there's gonna come a day where I'm not gonna fight. So whether that day comes tomorrow or whether that day comes in 5 years, I don't have as much control over that. So I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna have fun. And just enjoy the process of fighting, Like if I don't enjoy it, then there's no point in doing this.
Yeah, we've heard guys talk before, or the announcers kind of talk about the octagon jitters. Have you ever felt that inside there? I mean, from your first fight to some of your later fights, is there any difference?
Lucky. I didn't have a very tough first fight. I mean, no offense, I might have fought the worst guy that's ever been in there.
But comparing a UFC fight to say a Ring of Fire fight or a local show, what are your nerves like going into the fight?
Well, the difference based on the level of competition.
Right.
I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You've been watching Brandon Vera kick people in the head. You know what I mean? So you can find him on Spike TV like every other week. So that's where the jitters come from,
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned this isn't who you are. It's just something you do.
Yeah, it's what I do. It's my job.
What do you have? How would you define yourself?
I'm a dad. I'm a dad first. I'm a husband. I'm a teacher. I'm always gonna have something to do with fighting, whether I'm coaching,
right?
Like helping train other people, but it doesn't define me as a person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I know that it's got to end, and I think that's where a lot of fighters have problems. Is it ends, or a lot of professional athletes have problems. Is when it ends, they don't know themselves at all, other than their sport. And then they go crazy. They spend all their money, they get a divorce from their wives. And, you know what I mean? Like they can't do anything. Like they're just gone. It's because they define themselves through their sport.
Right.
I don't define myself through my sport.
Let's just go back to the fight real quick. You talked about seeing Brandon Vera kicking people in the head.
Sure.
Let's talk about your progression as a fighter. You're obviously a high-level black belt. How would you talk about, or how would you rate your development in terms of a striker, in terms of wrestling, and as you mentioned, putting all those things together?
I've had great coaches. Like I think Lee's just the best wrestling coach for MMA. He does a great job with us. He keeps it super simple. We don't do a lot of crazy fancy things. We double, single, work in the clinch, and defend takedowns.
Right.
So, and that you don't see too many people doing, suplex. But and Brian, I have a great Thai boxing coach, Brian Youngs. It's been, man, dude shows up every day. Every day he works with me. So it's been great.
So without, I mean, I guess you don't know, not many people like asking this question, but just in terms of prediction, how do you see the fight actually playing out?
I don't know, man. I can't. I don't have any control over it. Like I'm gonna go fight. I'm gonna let it go to the best of my ability. All I want is that on October 29th, at I don't know, if I'm gonna fight at 4:30 Vegas time, at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna look in the mirror and be like, you know what? That was everything I had. I put my best foot forward, and I let it all go. And I can't really ask for much more, right? Because what else can we do?
For sure. Before we get you out of here, any sponsors, any coaches, anything like that you want to thank?
I want to thank my whole team, man. This camp has been such a team effort. It hasn't been just me. I'm talking from my wife to my friends, to everybody, all my coaches, Amal Easton, Brian Youngs, Trevor, Lauren Landau, Leaster Bowling, Greg Jackson down in Albuquerque, Mike Winklejohn helped me out. Everybody just supporting me, and really in my training partners just telling me to just go get it, man. So, thanks everybody.
For sure, well, Eliot, good luck this weekend. We look forward to watching you fight.
Thanks, guys.